Good evening, guys. Can you all hear me? All right. Quickly, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ishani, and I'm one of the directors at IB Pro School. Welcome to IB's Bootcamp, which we try to do every month. Pick a topic which is in trend right now, or pick a tool which is trending. So, in today's workshop, we have Christmas shopping. Since it's holiday season, everybody is happy and everybody is shopping and taking vacations. So we picked a happy data set of Christmas shopping of European market. And I'm going to illustrate how to get insights from it using Power BI. And an interesting tool that will be used tomorrow will be using Gen AI, how to do your work, since that's a very trending tool, and that's what we are forecasting in 2025 to be the most important tool that everybody is going to run behind. A lot of demand is going to be in that. So our aim is going to be create this dashboard. I try to pick colors of Christmas: red, green, colorful dashboard. Though I'm not a very colorful, I don't like too many colorful things on my dashboard, but since the topic is such, we had to pick a lot of colors. So this is going to be the end product of today's workshop, where we are talking about European Christmas shopping insights. What are the trends and pattern? Since the time is limited, we are not going to explore the entire data set, but few things that I thought would be interesting to analyze on this data set is what we have picked. Now, regarding the data set, I'm going to quickly share the data set with you guys. I'm sending you the data set, as well as I'm going to send you the PDF of what we are trying to aim. Just in case you're missing few steps, the video is going to be on YouTube. You can follow it again. And I'm sending you the PDF, which is the end product that we are expecting out of this particular workshop. Both of them are given to you so that you can go back and recreate it at your ease. The PDF is there, the data set is there. Now, before we begin, I hope everybody's Power BI is there. Download the data. And while you're downloading the data, let me make you go through the data set. The most important part of being a good analyst is to understand your data very well. And that's what I'm going to make you understand. What is the data set given? And then we'll focus on one aspect of it, not focusing on too many things in it. All right. So the data set that we have is one is date. So I have this data set where the date ranges from 2018 to 2023. That gave me an idea of, since in between there were 2 years of COVID, so why not analyze this data for pre-COVID, post-COVID, and COVID period if there was any change in the trend of shopping. Then we have time-based analysis we could have done. I had done it and there was no significant thing that I found, so I skipped it. Then we have things around age groups, very important for anybody who is doing marketing. Anybody who is, one second. Okay, thank you. Anybody who is doing marketing would be interested to know that how to target what kind of customer. So, like you all know, Christmas, everybody grows up, and this is some one particular celebration that every age group enjoys, but more it's towards a kid. So we have customers of different age group, 1 to 11, 12 to 17, above 18, and we want to analyze what are the buying patterns based on the age group. What should we target? So the product categories, the adult, children, and teens are given. Since I'm using the customer age, I've left this column, not used it. Then we have product categories. So various product categories like accessories, board game, books, building sets, clothing, electronics, general, and so on and so forth. Right? Then there are product names. Didn't focus on it because this is like a 45 minutes case study that we have to finish. So drill down, you guys can do it further. Then we have things like where a person is purchasing it from. Is it in store, online, or Christmas markets that are put on the weekends in Europe? So this was interesting just because of the COVID period. So pick this also, that how it has changed the trend based on the time period in which it was bought. And then we have various countries from Europe: Austria, France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Portugal, Sweden, United Kingdom. And then we have male, female. They had things like budget, how the payment was done, what quantity was bought, what is the price, tax amount, cost, total sales, profit. And then I have also included the data where the holidays are there. So during holidays, like we typically know, like in India, we have a lot of sales going around Diwali, Dussehra, Durga Puja time. Similarly, in Europe, there are a lot of sales going around at around Black Friday, which is towards the end of November, Boxing Day, Christmas, New Year's, regular days where there's no particular season per se, Singles Day, Small Business Saturday. Okay. Now, this data set, even though it shows that I have many years, but in each year, you will see that we only have few months. It's not that we are focusing on all the months since it's Christmas shopping. We are not going to do a lot of Christmas shopping sitting in May for December. So we have considered only Jan, November, and December as a purchase months, right? So this is your data set. And let's start with Power BI, where we are going to, first of all, let's open a new workbook. And we are going to start with the blank report. So once the blank report is done, the very first step in Power BI is to get connected to the data. And this is the place where you also should know what kind of data type are we working with. So the data type I have given to you is Excel, right? Even though it opens in Google Sheet, you guys can download it in Excel. Everybody was able to download it as an Excel file.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we are going to click Excel workbook is my source, and it will ask for the data set. So I'm going to go ahead, pick the data set from my folder and click open. So I've got this file called European XMas gift sales database. This is giving me a preview what the data consists of. And I'm going to click on transform. Now, what is this transform all about? Transform takes us to Power Query. Power Query is a place where we clean the data. We take care of the data types that are there in our data so that we do a good analysis, a successful analysis. So I'm going to click on transform data. Let me know if you guys have reached this step. Share the data links again. 1 second. Okay, somebody has Shubhankar. Thank you. So first column is a date column. This is giving me a data type of date, which is correct. And you can always click on the symbol and make sure it's the right one. It's a date. Over here, I have time and date both showing up, but essentially this column is only supposed to have times in it. So what we can do is click on the symbol. Right now it's got date and time, but we are going to change its data type to only time because that's what we are interested in. Now, whatever activities you guys do in Power Query gets recorded as a step on the right side, which is called your applied step. So right now it is asking, do you want to replace or add a new step? What it means is as soon as it picks the data in Power BI, it has already, based on the data, 1000 rows of data, it has already determined the type of data and had created a step for it. So if you say replace current, so it will make modifications in the same step. But if you say add new step, it will create another step of change time, right? So for now, let's just do add new step. So a new step has been added over here. Customer age range group text looks good. Product is a text, looks good. Category is a text, product name is a text, purchase type, country, city, gender, budget, payment method, all is text. When you come to quantity, you see 1, 2, 3, which means it's being taken as a number. Unit price, tax amount, cost, and unit cost, total sales, profit has 1.2 written over here, which means it is taken as a decimal number since there are passes involved along with the or cents involved along with the main portion of the currency. And at the end, we have the sales day, which is like I told you, it's regular Boxing Day, Black Friday, and one extra column has come. So let's just delete it. Simple process, just like in Excel you do, we are just going to right click and click on remove. Right click on that column and click on remove. Let me know if you're done till this part. The data type checking and changing the data type of time is done. All right. So anytime you want to make modifications, like for the purpose of analysis, before I, present to you the dashboard, I do a lot of analysis on it to see if there is something interesting that we can bring out. So I had done a couple of things, but since our final dashboard does not have any modification of the existing data, so we'll leave it over here and we will click under Home tab, we'll click on Close and Apply. So whatever changes I've made to the data set will be applied and then it will bring me back in the Power BI report. So everyone from Home tab, click on Close and Apply. Okay, so this is Power BI. And in the panel of data, which is the symbol over here, you will see the entire table. If you click on this symbol, you should be able to see all the columns that are there. So we are able to see all columns, right? Now, the theme that I have picked is I created a theme with Christmas colors. So if I go to view, I would be able to find that theme over here somewhere. I had created it for my Power BI. But for you guys, what I'll do is I'll pass on the theme to you guys so that you can pick it up, and I'll teach you how to pick that. So first thing let me do is send that file to you. Typically, all these files are JSON files. Like I named it Christmas theme, and these are JSON files which get created. And open. So sending the file to you guys on the chat. Download it. I'm going to send you an image also of the Christmas tree. Again, download it. Done? Adarsh, Amisha, Ashish, Janaka, Gaurav, Mrityunjay, Ricky, Shweta, Sharwani. All right. Now, first thing what we're going to do is make sure we have enough space to put so much data. So we'll work on number one, the canvas setting to increase the size of our canvas. Number two, we'll put the title, we'll put the image on the top, and then we'll start building our report. So the size that I took in order to completely get all these things inside is 800 by 1400. Okay. So how are we going to implement it on our dashboard? Click in any white space. Over here, we have data, we have the build, which helps us to build the visualization, and we have the format. So all the things related to formatting, just like the size, is going to be under format. So in format, we have canvas setting, and typically it is set as 16:9. So in order to change it, we click on custom. Under custom, you will see height and width is given, but we want it to be 800 and then we want it to be 1400. Press enter and now you will see canvas size, which is between these dotted lines. This is what the canvas size is. This white area outside is not the canvas. Everything inside the dot is a canvas line. And this now area is 800 by 1400. So it's under click on white space, go to format, under canvas setting, type 800 to 1400.
Sorry, ma'am, but I could not find the format option in the right side of the window.
Okay, so it might be because of the difference in how my Power BI is set up and yours. So if you go to the view tab on the top, in the menu, go to view. And over here, you should be able to see format. So if you click on format, it should open the format window.
Okay, ma'am. Fine.
Everybody found format? All right. Now let's change the theme. So in order to change the theme, again, we are going to work in our view tab. So on the top, you have the file, home, insert, and there you will also see view. Under view, these are on the left hand side are the themes. This helps us to make consistent color throughout your dashboard. So if you click on the drop down over here, go to the very bottom, you will see there is something called browse for themes. So if you have downloaded the file that I had sent you and you click on browse for theme, it will ask you to go to the folder where the file is kept. So in my case, I've kept it under downloads and this is the file. So I'm going to select and open. It should give you a message that the custom theme has been imported. And now my current theme is this one, which is the Christmas theme. So once again, click on the drop down, scroll to the bottom, click on browse for themes, and under browse for themes, select the theme which I gave to you and click on open. Wait for the import successful message. Once done, we'll start to put our title on the top and the image, and this is done through the insert tab. In under insert tab on the right side, you will see a text box which is used to create the titles and image which is used to import the images from your computer to your BI reports. So all I'm going to do is create a text box, make it a little longer, and type in this particular thing, copy. I'm going to send it to you guys also so that we can reduce the time taken to do the manual things. Go over here, paste it. So the title is ready. I'm going to touch the edge of it. And now I would want to bring the shape, which is through image. So once you click on the image, pick the shape that I'd sent. Typically, it's going to be larger in size, but you can reshape it. And I'm going to put it next to the title. Let me know once you're done. Okay, 3 people have said done, waiting for a few more. So until unless you don't do the work yourself, you really don't understand the power of these tools and whether you really understood or not. Because typically all these tools look nice and easy till the clients ask for complicated views and different cuts that you want from the reports. So the more you work on the tools, the better you become. How to insert the image? Go to insert, and on the right side you will see image. Okay, I don't think so you have the image or the theme, Ankit. um Let me send it to you, both of them to you again. The format option has to be there. Without format, you can't work on the visuals at all. So it's going to be very difficult. So it's not possible not to have it. What you can do is just take a screenshot of the view on the top, click on view and take a screenshot of it, right? And then take a screenshot of what you see on the right side of your screen and send it over here in the chat. Either it has to be on the right or in view. Take a screenshot of the top and the side. On the right side, take a screenshot of that area.
Okay, I'm sharing.
So, okay. All right. This is the older look. So what you guys need to do, uh, click on visualization panel, okay? Don't turn everything on, then you hardly have space to do anything. So you just need data and visualization. Filter is there by default, so let it be. Remove all your other selections. So I have data, visualization, and filter. And send me a screenshot once again with visualization. So in this version that you're looking at, it sits inside your visualization. Right. So under visualization, if you guys can see my screen right now, this area is the build part and this part is the format. So instead of having different icons like data, build, and format, initially in the older look of Power BI, it was kept under the visualization tab. So when you click here, it gives you the option that I'll look in build. And if you click here, I'll look at the options, which is under format. And for later on, what you need to do is get into this particular way of looking at things. It's much neater, cleaner. Otherwise, what happens? So many panels open, so your visualization becomes tiny and the panels are so many on the right. Right? So I'm just telling you where to do it. You can do it later because to implement that, you will have to close your file and open it again. But it's kept under file, under options and settings, under options once again. And you will see under preview features, there is something called on object interaction. So under preview features, on object interaction, this one. So this is what needs to be turned on, checked. Once you check this thing, close, save your workbook, close a workbook. When you open it, you will have exactly the same way that you see on my screen, where I've got the data, build, format. separately on the side, and only one window will open at a time. So it becomes easier to work. Later on, you can do this, right? All right. Panendu, you were able to figure it out? So you have the latest one. So you have format, build, and everything. Okay, now let's start building the visuals that we have. So the very first visual that I've created, what is the type of chart? What is this chart called?
Which
It's
one, ma'am?
called a bar chart, right? This is bar chart, the quantity by product quantity. Now, before we move on, I'll also tell you what I analyzed. I was trying to analyze the quantity wise products, right? So product analysis is what I was trying to do, where I was trying to see, okay, which product category is doing well, uh, based on quantity, which countries are buying more quantity of products that we have, based on various age groups, what product category do they prefer, and depending on quantity, where it was bought before, pre-COVID, COVID, and post-COVID. Was it in store, was it online, was it Christmas markets that it was preferred, and is there a buying pattern change based on product category in quantity, right? So everything is around quantity in this thing. Okay, now for the purpose of ease of analysis, what we do in Power BI is we create something called measures. Measures are nothing but aggregated values of a field, right? So if I look at the data, so if you look at the data, you will see that there is a column called quantity, right? So in order to make it easier for drag drop and making sure it's always taking the sum of quantity, we are going to create something called measure in Power BI, which is nothing but an aggregated value. Measures are always one single aggregated value. So how do we create a measure? We are going to right click anywhere in this table. We are going to go to new measure, right? Right click anywhere. This pop-up will come, click on new measure. So once you click on new measure, just like in Excel, we have a formula bar on the top and we can write formulas over here. Over here also we do the same. By default, the name is always named as measure, but we are going to give it a name of total quantity. After equal to sign, we are going to write our formula. What is the formula that I should put? Which function should I put in order to get the total quantity?
Um,
Sum function. So in Power BI also we have the basic Excel functions still exist in Power BI. So we use sum, but over here rather than selecting a range or selecting a cell, we have to give the name of the column. So very similar to the concept of tables of Excel, where you name your tables, and if you want to pick a table, you give the name of the table. If you want to pick a particular column of a table, then you write the name of the table followed by the in square bracket the field name. So what we are looking at is quantity. So if I scroll down, I'm able to see the quantity. So European Xmas gift sales database is the name of the table and quantity is a column of that table. Close the bracket for sum and press enter. My table name is extremely big. Should have reduced the name. You can still do it over here. But since we are only writing one measure, so it's fine. But I really try to reduce these names also. Otherwise, writing formulas in Power BI may become too big just because of the names. And you should see a total quantity with this symbol. The symbol is for measures. This has been created in your data. If anybody is facing problem in doing this, do let me know.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, if I change the table format after completing all the means dashboard thing, will it disappear or will it like go on after that?
Name or format? What do you mean? Name or format?
Format of the table that you have done in the beginning.
It depends of what you have done. Like say, for example, at the places where you, let's say, for example, quantity, right? We have done everything based on sum of quantity. Now, later on, if you make it a categorical data, like a text data, so all the calculation will get messed up. So, as long as whatever steps, like as long as the calculations are able to use the data type that you are providing, then it's fine. And another thing is, let's say we have done this analysis till 2003 January. Now in future we get more data set of 2024 and 25, and few more columns get added to it. So that should not disrupt our initial report. That will remain as it is. As long as the name of the headers are matching, there should not be any problem. If the names change, like instead of product name, it's only name, then you will have little bit of problem of remapping things in your functions and in your visuals. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's build our first visual. The visuals are done through this. People who do not have this format, you will go to your visualization panel. On the top, it should say visualization. And the first thing you should see is the various type of visuals that are present in Power BI. The one we want to create is called a bar chart, which is this one, clustered bar chart. So once you click on it, it creates a placeholder for the chart to be created. You can do the formatting of it little later also. I'm just going to make it little smaller. And now what we are going to do is, since people are on different versions, I will only use under your visualization. You should see x-axis, y-axis, and legends to be there. So on y-axis, we are going to drop the product category. So once you are over here, you can go to your data, right? In the newer version, I can click here and get it. But since some of you are in old version, so we'll pick product category and drop in y-axis. Then we are going to pick total quantity and drop in x-axis because we want category-wise sales. And I'm going to make it little longer so that I don't have any scrollers in my data, in my visual. So it's that easy, very simple to create visuals in Power BI. You just have to drag and drop the fields that you want and it creates a decent looking visual. But I would say, what it has done is done, but we need to format it a little bit, like things like, I don't think so you can see it right now, but it's got things like grid lines coming, and I don't want product category to come over here because I'm going to put my title in such a way it is understood total quantity by product category. I would like to put some data labels, clean up this area also. So that's done under format. So where you have your build visualization panels, first symbol that you see is build and the second symbol is your format. So in format, you don't have to do this with me because in format to search for things take time. So don't do it with me. Ankit, which part you want me to explain again? The bar chart, the visual. All right. So what we did was to create the visual. We went to the visualization panel, clicked in the first row, third visual, which is clustered bar chart, right? And in this clustered bar chart on the y-axis, I have product category. So picked product category dropped here. On the x-axis, what I want to plot is a quantity. So the measure we created total quantity. I'm going to go ahead and drop it over here. And that's about it. And then just change the size, and we'll do a little bit of cleanup. So I'm just going to show you the step of cleanup. I would recommend do it afterwards because for me, I know where they exist. So I'll do little faster. So I'm going to get rid of the grid lines. I'm going to go and put the data labels. And since I have the data labels on, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of in the x-axis the values because I don't need them anymore, and the title. These two things. These are values. This is title. So I'm going to go ahead, turn them off. And similarly, in y-axis, since my title is going to tell, I don't need this word product category to be there. So I'm going to turn off the title once again. And I'm going to make it little bit more taller. I don't want the scrollers to be there. Right? So this is our first visual. This is a bar chart. The purpose of bar chart is to be able to compare what is more, what is less. So over here, we are able to see toys have the maximum quantity being sold. Right? Moving on to the next visual. So we'll first complete the first section, the left-hand side, then we'll move to the COVID part. Over here, we have a map. And what I want to see is in which country am I selling the most quantity? So if you look at this map over here, I have 4 countries, which is Sweden, Germany, and Netherlands and United Kingdoms, where the quantity sold is more. But at the bottom, the quantity sold, where you see the fader bubbles there. Going to ask everyone to stay muted. Okay. So over here and the southern part of the Europe, not too many countries are buying the product. So that is something that we would tell the business that, okay, marketing strategy has to change, or the type of products that we are selling has to be modified as per the country. So how do we build this one? This is a map. So let's go back. Again, visualization, and look for this particular symbol of map, a globe. Basically, look for a globe. That should be in your 4th row, 2nd column. Found it? Yes. So click on it. And I'm going to place right next to my bar chart. Squeeze in a little bit because over there also more things are going to come. And what do we want? It's a map. So map needs geographical locations, something that is not text, in the sense that I can't make region as my geographical location because that's not even present on a globe. On globe, continents are there, countries are there, states are there, cities are there. That I can plot over here, right? So I'm going to pick country, drop it in location. So you will see dots are appearing on this map. And in order to give a proper definition to which country are buying more, we work with size of the bubble. Right now, all the sizes look exactly the same. So how will the size of the circles change? It will depend on what we drop in the bubble size. So since this all analysis is based on quantity, again, I'm going to pick quantity and drop it in bubble size. Now you see different sizes are there. The countries which is buying more quantity has bigger bubbles, and the ones which are buying less quantity have smaller bubbles in it. Okay. Just like we can do formatting of other visuals, we can also format our maps. Like this particular map looks too crowded to me. I typically don't like this way of looking at maps. So again, once your visual is selected, we will go to format for people. So some people it's inside the visualization panel, and there you should be able to see the map setting. This one is road. I typically like to work with light so that the main like the main part of the map, that is the circles that we are building, the bubbles that we are building, gets highlighted. Or sometimes I like to work with the grayscale as well, right? So let's work with light today. And show labels is showing all the countries, which again makes the map look little cluttered. So I'm going to turn it off. Now it looks little neater. But for me, and I'm sure you must be facing the same dilemma, um, we are not going to be very good with the size of the bubbles and say this is more, this is less. So I think sizes are difficult to compare, but color saturations are easier to understand. So if I am able to use this quantity for the size as well as the color, darker color means more quantity sold, lighter color means less quantity sold, it becomes easier. So how we are going to do that? Under format itself, under the bubbles, you will be able to get colors. And in colors, I'm going to put a formula to find the color gradation. For this, I would want everyone to find colors under your format so that you can see and do it with me. The color gradation based on quantity. Format, select the map, format, look for the bubbles, and under the bubbles, the size. Going to wait for others to find that area. So it's almost like conditional formatting of Excel, where based on a value, we are able to work and give colors to it. Unable to find format. Ankit, you have this panel name called visualization, or do you have like build and data like me, or there's a panel called visualization on the side? So if you're sitting under visualization, so Ankit, if you have the visualization, right? Um, in visualization, the first place where you were working, dropping the field is this. So from here, if you click on this symbol, this opens up the format window. So be in your visualization panel and click on this particular symbol. So this is for formatting. All right. Now what we're going to do, we are going to click on FX. We can do conditional formatting over here. And in FX, instead of putting any rule that if the text is this, do this, I am going to use gradient, because the higher value, darker color, lighter values, smaller values, lighter color is what we're going to use. But when you do gradient, then you have to tell based on which field are we creating that gradient. Which field do you think we should use over here?
Total quantity.
Quantity, because that's what we are using for the entire thing. So total quantity. So I'm going to go over here and search for quantity, select, and min, let's give let's give this lighter pink shade. And for the max, let's use nice and bright red color. Though red is let's use green only. Red denotes negativity. So let's use dark green and gray. Gray for the minimum value and highest is dark green. Click OK. So now you see there's a big distinct look into it. So I know 4 countries doing very well, almost equal amount. So if I hover on top of it, 27,000, 27,000, 28,000, 27,000. That's why the sizes of the bubbles look uniform. And over here, again, these are more green, these are more gray. So this gives me a quick insight into my quantity based on the country. Got it? Show it again, select your visual, go to format. Under format, we'll go to bubbles. And under that, we will look for colors. And we are going to press on the FX. So if this is how you should be looking at. So if I just want to change the color, I can simply go ahead and change the color. But it changes same color for all the cells. So rather than doing that, I want conditional formatting. Based on the condition I want to format. So FX, instead of rule, we pick gradient. And we have to tell based on which field. So we are picking the measure we created called total quantity. So format style gradient, the field is total quantity. And for the lowest value, I want to give the lightest gray. And for the higher value, I want to give a nice bright dark green color. So if the value is higher, it will be more green. As the value decreases, it will be more in terms of gray. Can't give white because it kind of mixes it there. So light gray, get the output. Kuntal, good? Okay. Cost of, sorry. All right. One last left in this area to be built, and that is this chart at the bottom. Who will tell me which
100% select
bar chart?
bar chart.
100% bar chart.
Yeah.
Correct. This one is your 100% bar chart. And what I've put over here is the age groups, and I have put the product category. So this is helping me to understand that between 1 to 11 focuses on toys. In 12 to 17, it's kind of get divided between accessories, board games, books, electronics, video games. And over 18, the focus comes on clothing. So 1 to 11, toys, 12 to 17 gets divided into various category. Over 18 focuses on clothing. Most of the focus is on the clothing part. So how we are going to build this? So we are going to click in the white space, go to our build or the visualization panel. This one over here, the first row, the fifth visual is your 100% stacked bar chart. Okay, so we are going to click, increase the area. Okay, and same process, a y-axis is the age group, x-axis is the quantity, and this division of colors that you see will be coming from the legends. So product category will go to legends. So in the y-axis, we'll drop the age somewhere. It's given budget, quantity, profit. product type, gender, customer age. So age in the Y, quantity in the X, and product category in the legends. And that brings up the 100% bar chart. Let me know once you've created this. What about Ashish? Have you done? Kavita, Kabiri, Purbasha, Rimpa, Sanjay, Tanvi, Surya Prakash, Pragati, Devapriya, Gaurav. Done. Okay. Next step is clean up, make it look little more better to be able to work with, right? These are creating a lot of, like, nobody would click here and see the colors, and there are too many colors, even though not all the things are being plotted over here. So we are going to go to format, and we will be putting our data labels, which are under format data labels. So in the data label, I've got the percentage, which looks good because instead of saying X amount of quantity sold, when I see it 40%, 37%, 20%, that gives me a better understanding of the division, because ultimately that's how you will tell the business. 40% of what is bought by 1 to 11 is toys, right? You're not going to give them that 1 to 11 has bought about 3,758 toys as quantity. So that makes it non-business numbers. And to make it easier to read, because there's so many different categories and so many different colors, I would suggest that we go to the data labels, scroll down a little bit more, go to the value and turn it on. Not the value, sorry, turn on the title. Okay, so title is nothing but what you dropped in your legends, the product category. So I'm going to turn on title, and I turned on the data labels. Data labels, title. Two things I turned on. Right? Now, since these two things are there, I don't need my legends on the top because it's making it complicated. So I can go to the format and just simply turn off the legends. So it gives me more area on my visual. It makes it easier to read. I know the name, I know the percentage right in front of it. And since we've got so many things over here, we can start cleaning up the sides. So same thing that we did previously. Under y-axis, I don't want my title. I want the values, but not the title. And under x-axis, I would want to get rid of both, which is title as well as value. More area, better to see. And these percentages don't look good with so many decimals. So we can go to our data labels, and under data labels, say under details, you will have decimal places. So let's make it 0. Under details, decimal places, make it 0. So things that I did over here, got rid of the title on the y-axis, got rid of the value and the title on the x-axis. I have activated or turned on the title to get the toys, puzzles, general over here, and turned on the data labels. Since this is a 100% stacked bar chart, it automatically converts my number into percentages. And then to round it off, I have used at the bottom something called detail, and in detail value places, I have put 0. Done? Almost there. Now that you know how to create this, creating the remaining two would not take too much time. It's about, yes, you have a doubt.
Ma'am, why two of the boxes are showing blank? I mean, no data is showing their data labels.
Data is there, it doesn't have space. Space is an issue. So
Oh,
over
okay,
here,
ma'am. Yeah.
if I expand it, you will see they all have the names, but space is an issue.
Okay, ma'am. Got it. Got it.
And the reason I was okay with it was because my focus is not to look at everything. My focus is the majority ones. So 38%, 41% more important. Over here, equal division, hence all of them are important. But the smaller ones, not so important from the business reporting part as well. All right. Okay. So to make a division between I did this and I'm doing pre-COVID, post-COVID, I have just created a single line in the middle and then done the rest of it. Why that line? The flow of information or how the end user is going to read the information is very, very important. Now, we are saying that over here, we are doing everything around product and nothing else. We are not taking the years into consideration. The COVID, pre-COVID, we are not, nothing is being considered. Hence, I want this to be a separate thing where I'm looking where what type of category is being sold, where it is being sold, and what age group is going for which category. And another good thing about these BI tools is they are highly interactive with each other. So if I click on toys, right? So I'm able to see the quantity and I'm able to see the division of toys among the countries in terms of quantity. If I click on something like electronics, so electronics is 14K and I can see the most electronics are being sold in United Kingdoms. And if I look at, let's say, clothing, so clothing is 24K. And again, these are more sold in these three countries, and United Kingdom is also not doing as well as these three countries. And so forth. We can check for various things. Like accessories doing well in these two countries of Netherlands and Germany. Rest is not that great. Similarly, we can do opposite. If I pick a country, I can see the quantity sold, where I can see the division of each product category. But do you think this is easier to read? What I've done right now? When you look at the visuals, are they easy to read for you? Easy, not easy. The answer should be not easy.
Ma'am, what
Because
has just happened?
what just happened, they interacted with each other. So what your interaction means, they are filtering each other's data depending on what point you're picking. But right now, by default, BI does highlighting. Highlighting means this is 33K. When I click on Sweden, it is showing 5K out of 33K is sold in Sweden, right? Which becomes a little difficult to look at. So one more thing we'll do before we make the other visuals is we work with something called format, and inside format, edit interaction. By default, all of them are doing highlighting. I typically, few places I don't mind highlighting, but most of the place I think filtering gives us a better view. So if you select a visual and go to format, then you should be able to see edit interaction. If you don't select a visual, then the format would also not show up on the top. So select a visual, format, edit interaction. And now on top of each interaction, you can see this is no interaction. Means if I select something here, I don't want anything to change there, right? This is highlighting, which it was doing, and this is a symbol of filtering. So symbols might look little different depending on which how the BI is. And sometimes, like in this case, it's not showing me the symbols. I'm going to make it smaller and filter it. Similarly, do for the others. Select the other one, filter, filter, select this one, and filter, filter. Once this is done, then we remove edit interactions. Let's bring it back. Now you see when I click on Sweden, better looking report. I know exactly what is going on in Sweden. I know exactly what is going on in United Kingdom. And if I wanted to understand for Portugal, I can see 44% toys. Pattern remains the same across different countries, age group wise, but the quantity sold is fairly less as compared to other countries. Making sense? And now it makes more easier to look at things. So 1 to 11 toys, how much is sold? 33K. These are the four countries which are contributing the most. 12 to 17 electronics is only 13.5 because we have electronics over here also. 18 and above, no, this is not electronics. Wearable, it doesn't have electronics. But accessories, like it's at 12 to 17, 12.7. Over 18, it's 8.4. So it's giving you exact numbers of various mixes to be able to help drill down the data and utilize the insights coming out of it. All good? So map visual, what I've done, Ankit, is I have changed the format of the map settings to light. You will have road. That's why it's coming very dark. All right. Now let's move on to the next set, which is again a bar chart. It's 100% stacked. So I'm just going to simply utilize the Control C, Control V. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and shift it on the side, reduce the size, give some space in between. And all I have to do is change the fields that I have over here. So going back to what we want to create is based on various years, I want to see if there has been a change or the shift in buying pattern because I know 21, 20, 21, 22 were the COVID years, right? So pre-COVID, COVID and post-COVID, has there been a shift in the buying pattern on the what is the preference by the customers? So I'm going to go over here. Over here, I want years. So how do we get years? We are going to get from date. We have a column called date. Under that, you will see we have year. So I'm going to pull year over here. Quantity remains the same. And instead of category, I am doing based on from where a person bought. So purchase type. And we have got our, so everything else that we had formatted remains there now. That's the reason I copy pasted it. Right. So I can see 23, which is closer to now. There was a sudden increase in online shopping, though from 18 to 2022 it grew by 14, it grew to 19, 18, 17, it remained stable, right? These are the COVID years. And then suddenly it increased because now people are more comfortable doing things online rather than going to stores all the time and then doing it. So the store sales have dropped to half of it, almost half, right? So shift in the purchase pattern from in store, people have shifted to online. And the share of XMas parties have also increased. It was 17%, but now it has increased to 32%. Right? And same thing, copy paste, put it on the top. We'll have to make some space. Decrease the size for both. All right. And over here, what we are doing is simply changing our purchase type to product category. Okay. So over here, just dropping product category in legends. And that's it. So what do you think about product category? Any change or pretty much remains the same? You can build it later. You'll have enough time to build it later. But for now, let's talk about the analysis portion also. What do you think? Remains same or changed?
Not much changes
Not
there.
much changes are going on, right? Little bit increase somewhere, like for example, accessories increase a little bit, video games increase a little bit, um, clothing increased a little bit from the past year, but not something as significant as what we saw over here. This was a huge shift, doubling and halving of what we saw as patterns. Okay. Um, I think what I just going to make it a little bit smaller, give more spice, white space around them. This whole gray area is not looking nice. Let me know once you're done. I'm just going to put everything gray by background. Match this gray a little bit. Yeah, everything is grayed out now. This looks better. Right? So that brings us to the end of creating a dashboard. Now, what I did, last step, because the last two visuals are same as your product category. The only difference, Ankit, is that we dropped year on the y-axis, and in this case, I dropped purchase type. And in this case, I dropped year on the y-axis and the product category. So that's why I asked everyone to copy paste this visual so that we don't have to do formatting a lot. Okay, it's the same visual. All three are the same visual. Now, all dashboard should result in some actionable item. If a dashboard is not giving you actionable item, it's going to get dumped very soon. It's just a lot of information. So what is the actionable item you understood from here? If you are confused about what my dashboard is giving to me as an insight, what you can do is take a screenshot, give it to GPT, and then ask. So I did a similar activity, and let me quickly show you what it gave back. Though some of the things are pretty understood. So this is an insight GPT gave me. It says toys are top selling, followed by clothing and accessories. So I know my top three product categories. So my focus is on these three categories to increase my sales and revenue. I know my lower selling ones, technology, kitchen appliances, and wearable tech. So probably reduce that a little bit. I don't know why people would give kitchen appliances for Christmas. Not a good idea, anyways. But yeah, technology, wearable tech, probably we don't have decent products so that people will sell. And or it's not geared towards the right age group that we have to investigate. So my team has to understand what is going on with these three categories, why we are not doing well with it. Right now, if you look at regional trend, it says variation in sales across Europe, the certain country contributing higher value volumes and some are not. So this suggests in a region specific preference of market penetration. So if you see North Europe versus South Europe is acting differently. So the marketing strategies that we take for both the different type of countries have to be different. I can't use one thing for everything, right? Then we did pre-COVID, COVID, post-COVID buying patterns. And we saw a shift in the pattern. In-store purchase dominate pre-COVID, but dropped significantly after COVID. Online gained prominence during COVID and maintained substantial share post-COVID. XMas market remained relatively stable and less dominant as compared to the other two buying purchase types. And then in demographic, 1 to 11, we should target for toys, puzzles, and building sets during Christmas. 12 to 17, we should focus on accessories, board games, electronics, video games, because 20% each is a bifurcation. And in 18 and above, mostly majority is taken by clothing. So focus on that, followed by books and technology. And I didn't write any of it. I just took a screenshot of my dashboard, gave it to ChatGPT, and it nicely bifurcated all the visuals and gave me the insight into it. Right. So this helps the business uh, and solve point. Please share all objectives and solve points. Uh, I will share this PDF. It was not a solve point or objective. The objective was to be simply, to put it, what was my objective? I was doing product analysis. So this side is product analysis. Then I thought, since I have got so many years, let me do pre and post COVID and COVID period and then analyze. So these were the two thought processes in my head when I started with this dashboard, right? The Word document, if you want, I can share it with you. Like I said, all I did was I gave the, what do you say, the PDF of this image to ChatGPT and it did the rest of the work. I can share it over here. And there you go. So all these things, let me share everything. The dashboard the Excel is not going. The Excel file, the PDF file, and the Word document won't go because it's open as of now. The recording, Mrityunjay, it's on YouTube. It's a live YouTube video. So you can go to IB Pro School's channel and from there you can get the YouTube video. Okay. Do you have a question? Anyone, any question?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that after completing this dashboard and writing all the insights, can I like put that in my LinkedIn or any
You
portfolio?
can, not in your portfolio because portfolio is supposed to be your work, not someone else's work.
Yes,
Until
ma'am.
unless you modify what I've done, it cannot be ditto of what I have done. But if you want to post it on LinkedIn, definitely post it on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn profile. I would request all of you to stay connected with me. If you have any questions, I can answer. If you're done with this work, you can post it on LinkedIn, tag Ivy Pro School, tag me, and then you can talk about the boot camp that you've attended and you did this work. And if you want a portfolio project for what we have done right now, then you have to modify this dashboard. It cannot be exactly the same dashboard I did in boot camp,
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
right?
And ma'am,
Same
can
data set. Yeah, go ahead.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can I means instead of putting that in my portfolio, can I just put that in my resume as a project that I have done this?
It can, but I would say there is a lot of other things you can analyze in this case,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes.
So do
Yeah.
additional thing and then you put it over here.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, fine.
All
Thank
right.
you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you for the suggestion. Thank
All right. So I hope everyone enjoyed this dashboard. And in the spirit of holiday, we picked a fun data set. Not fun, I would say, but at least festive data set. Typically, I get all non very serious data sets to work with. So today, even I was excited. I picked colors, which usually I'm very poor with. I made my palettes because it's a festive season. So I hope you enjoyed. And like I said in the beginning of the workshop, Gen AI is something that all the companies, all the leaders of analytics are visioning to be the next thing that is going to be the most run after tool for 2025. So make sure you come back for tomorrow's session in the boot camp and learn and experiment with Gen AI. and you will get a certificate if you have attended both the days. How much learn for fresher? This was a very basic dashboard I created, to be honest. There's a lot of things that we do in Power BI. Very powerful tool this is. So you can we have a lot of programs at IB that you can enroll for, and you can do end-to-end understanding of the Power BI, from where we can get JSON files for custom themes in Power BI. Good question. So for other JSON themes, this one I built myself, but for the other one, you can go to view, and underneath you can go to the theme gallery. So when you go to theme gallery, it takes you to Power BI theme gallery where people post their reports, right? So if you like any of the themes, like if you like this color combination, open the theme, open the report, and at the very bottom, you will see the JSON file. So JSON file is your theme file. So you can download it, and then same process of how to pick it up. All right. All right, guys. Have a very good holiday season. Wish you a happy new year in advance, and hope to see you next year with new case study or tools. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wish you a happy new year, ma'am.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Same to you. Bye bye.